Hello everyone, this is Fluffkins with another video. So this one's going to be a top 10 tricks and tips for beginners. Gonna try to do this in under 10 minutes, so here we go. So tip number 1, focus on 4 main knights, one for each of your attributes. So what that means is you want to have a knight that is focused on strength, another knight focused on intelligence, another one on leadership, and finally one on charisma. If you're completely free to play, some good choices are using Bertrand for your strength or charisma, using Dante as your leadership or intelligence, Galileo as your leadership or strength, and Ferdinand as your strength or intelligence. If you have $1 to spend, you could also buy Edward, which is pretty good for strength and charisma. So for example, when I first started off playing this game, I bought Edward and I used him as my main strength knight. I had Bertrand as my main charisma knight. I had Dante as my main intelligence knight, and I had Galileo as my main leadership knight. The reason you want to do this is because of how the game works. So if you have a 5 or 6 star talent, using edicts on them will kind of give you the biggest return for your investments because of maths. So let me... Okay, so as we all know, when you upgrade your knights, you need to use edicts, right? And there's a chance to succeed and obviously chance to fail. So if you're a student of statistics, you would know this has a 20% chance of succeeding. However, if I have really bad luck, I could use 50 edicts and not get a single success. So this leads me into tip number 2. Fail-safes. So thankfully King's Choice have a fail-safe whenever you use edicts, which is essentially, or what it means is, after using X amount of edicts, the next one will always be a success. So the formula is pretty much your number of stars on your talent plus 3. So for example, this is a 5-star talent plus 3, so it's 8. Meaning if I were to keep upgrading this skill, I could fail 7 times, but on the 8th one, it will always be a success. One thing to note of this, if you're on this screen and let's say I use 4, and I exit, and I get back into it, if I use another 4, it won't automatically succeed. And that's because once you exit the screen and go back into it, that failsafe count restarts. So you would need to go back from 1 to 8. Hopefully that makes sense. And that's edicts. Tip number 3, make sure that your leadership is always higher than your charisma, because if you go into your collections, you would know intelligence produces silver for you, which lets you upgrade your knights. Leadership produces grain, which you could use to train soldiers, buy pet food, and go to patrol with, or increase your luck in patrol. So whatever you gain from leadership is going to get eaten up by all your soldiers when you train them. So if your charisma is higher than your leadership, you're going to keep losing grain and keep losing grain until eventually you reach 0 grain. And being broke is no fun for anybody, so always maintain your leadership to a level that is above your charisma. And branching off that, we're going to go into tip number 4, Arena. So Arena is a good source to do battles and farm Knight EXP so that you could increase your talents for bigger power, etc, etc. And only knights that reach level 60 can join an arena. So what most players do is they would purposely keep their weak knights at level 59 so that when you do your arena hits, you won't be drawing them to fight for you. And that's also a reason why people exile their knights when necessary. Next thing, tip number 5 is knight power versus state power. So these are completely different things. State power is essentially all the attributes of your knights and lovers and negotiations and all that jazz combined, forming this number. Knight power is only based on 3 things: your knight's level, your knight's strength talents, and strength books or codexes that were used on them. So you were to click on your knight and click on knight power, it'll actually tell you what is comprised of it. So this is important because different events utilize different statistics. So for example, In chess, you would use your state power for your kind of knights to battle with. In War of the Lions, that is also based off state power. But in a lot of different events, like your dailies with hunting, with pirate invasion, with Alliance Dragons, Nib, Athens, Scarlet Beauty, all those use your knight power instead. So make sure you kind of know which events are which, because they are different in that sense. Tip number 6, we're going to go into kind of the daily tasks that you should do to help your account grow. First of all is getting free gold. Gold is used for everything in this game, from exiling to getting more pet slots to buying packs from the store, which is important for you to rank higher in events for more edicts. So a few ways that you get gold on a daily basis. You could go to the visit and visit, do palace visits with whoever. This is going to be based off your Lord level, so at Superior Lord 4, you would get 130. You could get it from this little sign-in thing down here. You could get it from congratulating players up here, only in this specific section, these 3. The bottom one will give you prestige. However, there is a little miracle thing here where when you're congratulating people, there's a 15% chance to earn an extra 100 gold. So if you're lucky, hopefully you'll be able to hit that. And if you do have a weekly card and a yearly card, you could get that off here as well for your free gold. So for weekly stuff, you could go into your lovers and you could share your lovers. This will give you 50 gold every week. Same thing with your knights. If you share your knight, it'll be another 50 gold. Tip number 7, and this one's kind of important. As you go through your King's Choice journey, you're going to start off with accumulating these Novice Knight pieces, and eventually you're going to want to build your way into Diamond Knight. You can buy these armors from the Outskirts store. So this is by the Warrior store and using Warrior coins. You get Warrior coins from attacking pirates and hunting, which is every day. And I would buy these on a daily basis because the first one's always going to be the cheapest. And as you keep buying more and more, it's going to keep going in price. So the first one costs 100, the second one costs 110, third one costs 121. So ideally, if you buy one of each every day for 10 days, it would be a lot cheaper than you buying 10 of these on just one single day, because again, the cost keeps going up. Kind of on that same logic, make sure you're buying the armors from the Alliance store as well, and balance it out with how much Alliance coins you earn on a daily basis, how many Warrior coins you earn on a daily basis. You could buy like one of each. If that's what you could afford, that's fine. But just remember, this also refreshes on a daily basis. Alright, tip number 8. This is kind of underrated, but make sure you are doing your outpost at least 2 every day, because doing 2 will give you, it's part of your daily anyways, and it'll give you 20 prestige, so why not? So you want to push these because as you keep advancing in different chapters, it's going to unlock more game stuff for you. When you reach chapter 30, that's going to unlock negotiations, which is these things, where you could join a negotiation table to gain some, negotiation points, and you use those to buy these decrees. And this is directly a increase to your state power and your talents, so it's pretty good stuff, and it's also free. Free is always good. When you hit chapter 40, you're going to unlock Night Parade, which is a way for you to start getting more prestige to level up your Lord level faster. When you reach chapter 93, you're going to unlock Endless Wars, which is a good way to earn Knight EXP, some edicts, and Lover's Charm, some prestige as well. And finally, when you hit chapter 95, you will unlock Naval Expeditions, which is another way to earn some extra gold. So let me view my record. So pretty much on a daily basis, it's hopefully a little bit of extra gold for you, along with a variety of different items like intimacy and charm. Speaking of which, I kind of forgot, Patrol also gives you some gold if you're lucky. It's not a lot, but it's there. Yeah. And also Champagne Fair. Champagne? Yeah. Will also give you some gold. 10. Nice. Still something. Again, free is always good. Tip number 9. As you keep leveling up your Lord level, eventually you will hit Senior Lord 1, which is perhaps the most important Senior Lord level to race to, because that will unlock Dragon Island for you. So Dragon Island is a source for you to gain more Knight experience, more Alliance wealth, or more prestige to level up your Lord level faster. So the way this works, once you hit Senior Lord 1, it's going to redirect you to this camp location. So the top camp is going to give you the most meat per hour, and as you kind of go down, it kind of gives you fewer and fewer meat per hour. Usually these ones are always going to have empty slots, so there should be room for everybody. But of course you want to be kind of as high as you can. So after generating X amount of meat, you could join these dragon layers. So the blue one will give you Knight EXP. And again, same concept. The big one is going to give you the most, and then level 2 is going to give you kind of the second most, etc. And these are going to give you the least amount. So blue gives you Knight EXP. Green's going to give you Alliance wealth, so that you could use to open dragons with, or Alliance dragons with, rather. And finally, the purple one, it's going to give you prestige, so it'll let you level up your Lord level faster. And going into tip number 10 then, are server rules. If you're in a brand new server, usually each server will have their own server rules that will be up for discussion with the leaders. The most common ones are no insults at the ballroom. So when you do ballroom every day and you're making a choice, make sure to always select the gold one and not the insult, because this kind of benefits everyone. If you use this one, sure, you gain more for yourself, but you kind of screw the other person over, and it also makes people mad. So most every server would have a compliment at ballroom only. Other things, no kicking alliance members off their own negotiation tables. So for example, I am in, well, let's go to VLH. So I am in N8 in Na, and this is not my alliance, right? So I can't kick anyone from VLH because it is their host that is hosting. I could kick, FGS, I could kick my own person if I wanted, but don't kick anyone that is on the same alliance as the host. And there's just a lot. Rules differ from server to server, so if you don't know what they are, talk in Kingdom chat or ask in your server Discord. I'm pretty sure someone's going to direct you to the right person to talk about those. And that's all I got for now. If you have any questions or you would like to see another more advanced tips, let me know. And until then, see you next time.